Bahamas making its presence felt in the black tourism market. I'm Clint Watson. The story comes to you from Miami, Florida.
And in sports, Bahamian swimmers preparing for another major international meet. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The Bahamas sending the message to the world that it is open for business and still the best place for sound investment in the tourism sector. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. Amidst intense negotiations to get the multi-billion-dollar Bahama resort open, the government telling the National Association of Black Hotel Owners, Operators and Developers that much is taking place in the country and is still a sound place to invest. State Minister for Investments, the Honorable Kalis Roll, representing the Prime Minister this past weekend in Miami, Florida, at the NABHOOD conference, outlining the many new investments set to begin or already in full bloom that would fuel new opportunities for their money as well as their clients. Clint Watson reports.
Recent new investments in the Bahamian economic pipeline are expected to propel the tourism product to a new level, attracting record-breaking stopover visitors. State Minister for Investments Kalis Roll telling the National Association of Black Hotel Owners, Operators and Developers, NABHOOD, in Miami this weekend that the Bahamas is still on top of the list of destinations in the region to invest in.
The investment climate is stable despite the recent challenges with the Bahama project. Interest by world-class investors continue to be high, and the government is continuously working to protect the reputation of the country as a great place to invest and a great place to get a great return.
Along with the $3.5 billion Bahama, which is 90% completed, other new investments are set to attract new markets, beginning with a new deal for the Atlantis Resort.
Brookfield Real Estate Financial Partners, owners of the Atlantis Resort, has begun a $45 million renovation at the Cove and Royal Towers, including several restaurants, and will expand their entertainment offering to include private gaming facilities. This, along with the select restaurant expansions, will attract more high-end casino and regular patrons.
And for hotel owners and operators, Minister Roll supported his pitch to attract investments to the Bahamas with the upward trend of stopover visitors.
Stopover arrivals in the Bahamas overall were up by 5% in 2014 compared to the previous year. Stopover arrivals to Grand Bahama were up by 27% in 2014 compared to the previous year. In Abaco, 2% in 2014 compared to the previous year. Stopover arrivals in Eleuthera were up by 13% in 2014 compared to the previous year.
The Ministry of Tourism used this major conference as an opportunity to network and attract new business to the country. In Miami, Florida, Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell won an Apex Award at last week's NABHOOD conference in Miami. The award is given to a select number of individuals who have made outstanding contributions in their particular fields that have positively impacted travel and tourism. And in his ministerial role of Foreign Affairs, Mitchell, among his many accomplishments, has negotiated a number of important international agreements on behalf of the Bahamas, including the Schengen Visa Agreement and the European Partnership Agreement. Significant strides are being made for the January 2016 implementation of the National Health Insurance Scheme. Although the program will be phased in, Minister of Health Dr. Perry Gomez noted that strengthening the healthcare system is essential before NHI becomes a reality. His comments came during a technical discussion last week with health stakeholders and the director of the Pan American Health Organization. Dr. Gomez said the process has already started, but there is still more work to be done. He noted that private health companies will also play a major role.
Beneficiaries will be able to choose the insurer from the private insurers certified to work with NHI or from the newly created public insurer. This is a significant change over the previously approved NHI Act. We have listened to our stakeholders and now propose that private health insurance companies duly certified to offer the vital benefit package can enroll the population and manage their benefits under the national plan.
Now, Dr. Gomez noted that Bahamians can also choose to top up their NHI plan for expanded coverage at a cost, but the idea is to ensure that costs related to the point of care access is eliminated. Meanwhile, PAHO and the World Health Organization Director Dr. Carissa Etienne said that this step to NHI is taking place around the region and the key is consistency.
Their reform has occurred in waves and their reform has taken time. So I think, Mr. Minister, that's the biggest issue that you're going to face, because people will wake up on January 2016 and expect that all of what you have said is going to be done. So in your communication with your public, you must be very, very clear about that this is progressive, that this is what we plan to do within a certain how many years or what, and so it will be done gradually. And always remember that the longest journey begins with the first step, but that we need to continue to take steps. You can't take 2 steps and stop and you have to continue the journey to its completion.
With many Bahamians suffering from health complications, Christ Community Church is placing a focus on health and fitness, launching its annual Challenge and Health Fair on Sunday. Event coordinator Dominic Cunningham and the church's senior pastor Deanza Cunningham are both firm believers that a holistic approach to ministering people, young and old, is needed throughout the country. Youth Outreach Director for the J&E Family Group, Mark Beckford, who has mentored hundreds of youngsters, agrees. In fact, he believes initiatives like these have far-reaching potential for personal development.
You can't go into the field, you can't go out and witness, you can't talk to others if you're not healthy.
If we are to be the church, which is Jesus' organization, we must help people to grow holistically as well.
A lot of kids, they overlook their health or the importance of being healthy. The average murder rate and the average murder, these were the babies and the young children 5-10 years ago. So to overlook a generation right now of youth, of young men, we are facing a tremendous catastrophe if we don't try to reach these kids right now.
The Rhythms Carnival Band is also doing its part to improve the livelihood of Bahamians in need of blood. The Junkanoo Carnival Band hosted a blood drive yesterday afternoon in the mall at Marathon. The group's secretary, Keon Brennan, says these kinds of social initiatives are important to the group.
We don't want to be perceived as just a group that, parties and so on and so forth. We want to, help build the community. So we decided to plan this as the first of ongoing initiatives to also give back to the community. So hopefully this will be the start of other things to come.
Director of the recently established Friends of the Blood Bank, Basil Christie, is pleased with the group's motivation and explained its organization's mandate.
Our objective is to educate the people on the need for and the value of giving blood. And we're setting up blood drives in every office in Nassau. Today we are here at the mall at Marathon. Next week we'll be at the Harbor Bay Shopping Center. Last week we were one bank. This week will be another insurance company. Then we'll be at the airport. We're setting up blood drives all over so that the longer I have to say, hear the announcement that the Princess Margaret Hospital is in urgent need of blood. We're going to see that everybody in the Bahamas is aware of the need for giving blood.
And still to come, a young Bahamian wins big at an international pageant. That story and more when the weekend edition continues.